Should we start?
Thank you.
Hello, nerdlings. I hope we're very well today. I have the lovely Dad Hammer with me today. So how are you today? Are you doing well?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's nice to be the weekend again. Feels like it's been another long week, but yeah, can't complain. Are you all
Bless
right?
you. Yeah, good. Thank you. Very excited for today.
Yeah.
So my first question is, what has gotten you into the hobby originally? Like, what's your origin story?
It's Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
And yeah, I remember begging my dad for the weekly magazine subscription that they bring out. And yeah, he thought it'd be a 5 minute wonder, and here we are. But yeah, it's a funny story as well because it started with that. So they were the first miniatures that I ever painted, and I ended up going into Games Workshop one weekend to get some models, and my two best mates that no one knew that we did the hobby were in there buying like Warhammer 40k stuff. So I think when we spotted each other, we all ducked down to run away because it's a bit embarrassing.
In the nerd
Yeah, and
shop.
then yeah, ever since then they got me onto 40k, and it's been a on off love triangle ever since, really. So
Love that. That's amazing. I mean, I suppose though, when I think of you, I think orcs.
yeah.
Orcs is what immediately comes to mind. So, like, what draws you to the orcs and the orc painting and just in general orcs?
Well, green is best, but I don't know. I like the lore and everything behind just the models as well. I always have, and there's something about the orcs that are just the comedic value of the hobby, but at the same time they have another side to them where they're horrendously dark as well. So yeah, the like the one faction that has a bit of everything. The wacky, goofy, pretty cool, scary. So yeah, I've always liked orcs, and yeah, it's only fairly recently I've started painting a lot of them. But yeah,
It like brings out a bit of everything in the Warhammer, doesn't it? Is there
yeah,
anything you'd kind of suggest to someone wanting to start orcs, like how to start, where to begin with it?
yeah. I'm still figuring it out myself, to be honest. The thing I would advise if you start, I mean, it depends what you like in the hobby. So I can't help but try and paint everything as good as I can, and
Yeah.
it's great in one respect, but then it's a killer if you're trying to get an army on the table. So what I would do, I burn out with armies when I get a lot of characters. I spend absolutely ages doing them as good as I can, and then kind of think, right, I'm done now. And then the thought of painting 1,000 other models is a bit daunting. So my personal advice to anyone doing an army is try and paint the stuff that least excites you the most first,
Yeah.
so they're out of the way, and you also get a chance to get your head around the colours and how you want your army to look, and then really go for it with the characters after that.
Yeah.
But if you're just collecting, just real cool, whatever you think's cool, do it, and yeah, have some fun.
I like that. Yeah, I mean that's how I rule my life. If I don't want to do it first, I'll do it first, and then the bits that
Yeah,
I like afterwards.
yeah, I've learned the hard way now with models doing that. The amount over the years of, I mean, I think most people are the same, but the amount of armies I've started and then moved on to another one, and it's the same old mindset, and then yeah, you just end up giving up, moving
The
on. So
pile just builds, doesn't
that's it. Yeah,
it? I mean, you've obviously spent your fair amount of time in the hobby. Um, so I really want to talk to you a bit about the journey and things like that. And when you look back on it, what's the biggest difference you've noticed in things to help you improve? Like, what's the biggest factors to having that journey and becoming the incredible painter you are now?
oh, thank you. It's always, yeah. I don't know. I'm funny with compliments. I don't know what it is about it, but the biggest thing with me to for my own personal improvement was sort of valuing patience, and I mean, there's certain tips and tricks and hacks or whatever you want to call it, but when you spend time on a miniature, it shows. And to get to a certain level, you just have to be able to take your time, and it's quite a learning curve because you just kind of want to get something done to the best of your ability as quick as you can and move on to the next thing because it's fun. But at like a really high level painting, it's I think when I did Golden Demon, I remember documenting it. I spent a night and a half, so 7 hours work on the hilt of a sword.
Wow.
And yeah, if you can force yourself to do that, you're already in like a better position than most. But it's quite a difficult thing to transition from because everyone starts at the same spot, regardless of what artistic experience you have. It's getting used to the brushes and the mediums and the scale that you're working at, and then you start to find your own style. But yeah, for me, the biggest thing was learning to slow down and take my time.
I mean, you touched on there, like even with your Golden Demon win, have you had a moment where you're like, okay, I can paint?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
my biggest. I've got friends who are Golden Demon winners as well, so it's always been something to aspire to, and you get a lot of inside knowledge from them. So it's at a point where you showing them something, and then they're going, "Oh, whoa, that's pretty cool," and you can tell it's a genuine reaction. So I think yeah, the feedbacks in person is always the greatest giveaway
That's
because you know
like
if
how
someone's
you,
bullshitting or not.
yeah, yeah, you can see it.
Yeah,
You can see it on someone's face, can't you? And they're like, that's a really
that's
nice
it. Yeah,
one.
that's yeah. Whereas you're not looking for what they say; it's the way they look at it is what what you want. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's what kind of made it click for you of, I can do this.
yeah, definitely. Social media has been a massive eye opener for that as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But not in the way that I expected. I think for me personally, I could put something up that isn't very good, and I would be told that it is. And I think, yeah, so social media is a fickle place, good and bad. But you can't beat feedback from your friends or your wife in particular. She's got an eye for it. And I'll spend 2 nights painting a face and show it her, and she'll go, "No, you need to do that." So yeah, you need someone
Brutal.
critical. Yeah, you need it. You need it.
I mean, if there is ever is anything to make you improve, your partner
Yeah,
watching you paint for 2 days and
that's
going,
it. And if I
no,
can't impress the wife, what is the point? So
exactly. That's this aspiration, isn't it?
that's it.
So if someone wanted to kind of like push towards your level of painting, that kind of Golden Demon standard, where would you suggest they start, and what would you suggest they do along that journey?
Um, that's a good question. I think it's understanding the pillars of techniques that you need to do. You can't just say I'm really good at painting red, for example. Like I've done a Blood Angels army. I'm going to fly in. You have to have a really broad understanding of what you're doing and how you can apply it to a model. And the problem with Golden Demon now, I mean, even back when I won it, the competition's so high that out of say 500 people that enter, 400 of them are essentially at the same technical level. You've just got to be able to tell a story with your model, which is quite a tricky thing to do. And it took me a long time of failing and getting finalist pins at best to start to get that. Like the feedback from the judges is really good. So yeah, I think I'm going off topic now, but to answer your question, if I was going to start today, I would just paint something, take my time, and enter it into whatever competition you can, and try and get some feedback from judges. They're usually very good about it, but they will sort of pick it apart as well and let you know where you can improve. But otherwise, yeah, get yourself involved in a community and try and learn as much as you can.
Nice. So you touched on it a little bit there, but I'd quite like to know a bit more, like the behind the scenes of Golden Demon, because I mean, for a painter like me, that's nowhere near the realm of possibility yet. Like what's the What's the behind the scenes view of it?
Um, I mean, from the perspective of a painter or like a judge.
I mean, if you've got both, I'll take both.
Yeah. Um, it's. I mean, I've never been a judge from that respect, but I know one or two, and the agenda changes each year. So with something like Golden Demon, it used to be an extremely focused marketing event. So if you were painting a model that's been released fairly recently, then you stand in a better chance just because you're doing the best possible marketing for
Yeah.
them because they're painted well arguably a lot better than they're painting themselves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which
Yeah.
well differently, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, I agree with
Um,
you.
but there's been a massive. I think there's been a big shift recently where it's gone back to just the art itself. I think Games Workshop as a entity now is so massive and big. They don't need the Golden Demon as much as they did before to represent what you can get from the miniatures. Because even the heavy metal team has come on amazingly. The amount of models they're releasing, I think, what that is awesome. Like it's so good the job they've done. Um, so yeah, from a judge's point of view, it's impossible to know because it just changes so much. But they're looking for a story and for everything to be perfect. That's I know
Wow.
it's
That's
a bit of
almost
a
like a bit of a guessing game, really, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, my friend who's won I think like four Golden Demons, he was saying it's just a lottery. Like obviously you've got to have a certain level of skill to be able to enter it, but it gets to a point where if there's two or three judges that absolutely love orcs, then whether
It's
they
gonna be
admit it or
awkward.
not, yeah, it's just going to appeal to them that little bit more. So, yeah, and then from a painting point of view, it's it's stressful. It really is. Like
Yeah.
you pour in between 2 to 500 hours into a model, and then you're standing around all day for someone to pick it apart and say whether it's great, not great, and yeah, it's brutal really for how much you put into it. Yeah, so it's
I
a
can
tough old
imagine
world.
I can imagine the burnout from that can be quite intensive because obviously I know that you took a quite a big break from when you did win your Golden Demon. Um, was that purely because of the Golden Demon, or can you tell us a bit more about that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the length of the break wasn't to do with that. I think I really slogged my guts up for about 4 years straight to try and win one.
Wow.
And so the first year I entered, it was nothing. I didn't get anything at all. And then the next 2 years in a row, I got finalist pins.
I mean, that's an
Um,
achievement in itself.
yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong. At the time, I was like absolutely blown away. But the second, so the time before I won it was like I was saying before, stress. It was mad. So it was a Bad Moons Big Mech in Mega Army that I entered, and they go through various stages of judging the models, and at the end they were deciding which models had won bronze, silver, and gold, and there were four miniatures on the top shelf that they were deciding which had won, and mine was one of them. So
Oh,
I remember at the time thinking, I can't watch it. I've got to go out.
I've got
So
to bounce.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, I left the room for like 5 minutes, and when I came back in, they'd moved mine down to the
Oh,
shelf below. So yeah, I just missed out on a trophy that year.
wow.
And then yeah, the year after, I really like went for it. Everything before was a single miniature, and then I went for large models. Did a conversion, spent probably double the amount of time I did on any of the others. And then after I'd done it, I mean, it was like amazing to win it and to say I've done it. But I just thought, right, I've done it now. I can't be bothered even looking at. I didn't even want to. And I used to play the game a lot as well, and
Wow.
I just thought, no, I've done it. I need a break. And then shortly following that break, like me and Amber, my wife, we just bought a house. So we thought we'd put some time into doing the house, and then we started a family. And yeah, everything just went from there. I started taking on a bit more at work, and the hobby just became yeah, it just slowly fizzled out. And it's only when we moved into our new house a couple of years ago, and my friends have still been playing it all this time, I was starting to get interested again. And yeah, it wasn't long before I was buying a couple of models, and Frankie was, Daddy, what's that? What's this? And you explain it to him, and she's like, whoa, I want to be a Space Marine, or a Warhammer, as she calls them. So, yeah, before you know it, we started the channel and I started painting again. So, yeah, it's
I bet that's an extra motivator for you as well, having Frankie interested too.
Big time. And she flits in and out of it like every kid does with everything. But yeah, every night she goes to bed and she's got a big Space Marine plushie. And she won't go to sleep without it.
So
And then yeah, one weekend it could be, do you want to make a video with Daddy? And she's like, yeah. And the others are, no, hate Warhammer. So yeah, it's,
really,
yeah, oh yeah, it's up and down. It depends whether she's allowed Minecraft or not. That dictates it.
right. Oh, bless her. So in terms of that, like obviously you're doing another Golden Demon this year, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Are you worried that it's going to break it a bit again for you? Or have you got like a game plan of this is how I'm not going to get burnt out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel completely different about it this time
Oh, okay.
because the time I did it, I hadn't won anything. So I think even if nothing comes of it, I'll be disappointed, but in a different way, because like you kind of, yeah, I've loved and lost, if you know what I mean. So yeah, you look at it in a different way, but I don't feel as much pressure on myself to do it like last time. But at the same time, I feel like quietly confident as well. I don't know why. We'll see as time goes on, but it's quite an ambitious project I've gone for. Yeah, Amber's always telling me stop giving it away, but yeah, it's a big diorama that I'm working on, with multiple models and lots of terrain and bits like that. So yeah, it'd be my biggest one yet.
Do we get a grand reveal?
Oh yeah, when
At some
it's
point?
done. Yeah. But yeah, for now there's I think a lot of people who follow me know, because on the live streams they've seen me cleaning up little bits.
I've had a few little sneak peeks.
That's probably a little clue from it. But yeah, that's one of the models that's going to be on there.
Got some little Easter eggs.
So yeah, but I'll leave it at that. I won't give too much.
Love that. Is there anything even now, like having those Golden Demon wins under your belt and things, that you still just can't get right on painting, that you're still working towards?
Yeah, non-metallic.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Well, I honestly, I did it for the first time ever the other night.
Wow.
So that, I don't know if you can see, it's going to be bad on this camera, but it was like, I'll post something later, but it's yeah, it's like little gold trim, and I've always done metallics. It's just like an old school way of painting. And when I won Golden Demon, it was really starting to get going, but it was in its infancy, where it just looked like brown, and it takes a certain special artist, I think, to make something non-metallic actually look metallic. I think the community in general has sort of shifted to accepting a version of it that isn't actually what it should be. So I'm trying, but I know they like it, so I'm trying to push myself to do it. But yeah, that's what I'm going for. Anyone who can do it really well, if I had a hat on, it'd be off. Yeah.
I mean, I must say, I do think the metallic metal has this way of being pleasing to the eye that sometimes true metallics don't quite have.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with metallics is it's kind of like cheating in a way. Like you don't have to do much to make it look good, and
done.
Yeah, I think at like the top end, people don't appreciate it, but true metallic metal has, I think it's a bit underrated, because when everything shines, it's difficult to create shadow, and it can look good when it's done right. But yeah, non-metallic technically, I think, is the most difficult thing to do, because you have to understand color theory, how light works on certain surfaces, and everything, and obviously the technical ability to do it, and glazes, brush control, everything. It's the whole package. So
Yeah. There's
yeah,
some people that absolutely smash it as well.
technique because it's
Yeah.
easy to make it look like brown rather
Yeah,
than
it
gold.
can look pretty rubbish pretty quickly,
Yeah,
can't
that's it.
it? Oh, and I think one thing personally I really admire about you, I'm a fairly new mum, and obviously you managed to do all of this with two young children and a full-time job. Like, how? Where do you get your spare hours in your day?
Well, I know how. It's Mum Hammer. That
Well done,
she's
Mum Hammer.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong. I work a lot and like I try and do what I can to provide for us all. But when I get home, she will do her best to give me that time in the evening after the kids have gone to bed to do it. And the way she helps is she gets involved. So as I'm sure you know, and a lot of people do who've seen any of the live, she's often there reading out the comments for me and helping. And there's been nights where I'd have happily just sat on the sofa and done nothing, and she's like, "Come on, we'll jump on." And so yeah, but I don't honestly get a lot of time. So it's normally home for 6 o'clock, get some tea, spend a bit of time with the kids before they go to bed at 8, and then nice hat, and then providing they go to bed when they should, because that's another thing we've
Yeah,
got to deal with.
I feel
We
that.
might jump on for a couple of hours, but then my alarm's going off at 6 again. So
Wow.
yeah, and then the week, but it's one of them. I think because I go live fairly regularly, it's like maybe 2 to 3 times a week at the top end, and then I post every now and again. It probably seems like I'm doing more than I actually am, but there's gaps in the account where like I've not posted a thing or gone live for like a month. So yeah, it's different now to when I started the account. When I started TikTok, I was doing a video every day and posting on the stories and making sure I went live all as much as I could, and really because it's new, isn't it? You're so excited by it, and
Yeah,
you
just
get the
like
followers.
grinding it.
Yeah, it's addictive. Like
Yeah.
you get the followers, and people tell you your models look good. Like what's to lose? You got
Oh
to
yeah.
keep going.
You're like, yes. Do
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'll get the time sometimes.
you ever feel that pressure though within that, like kind of catering to the algorithms and things? Do you ever feel like, oh god, I haven't uploaded a video? And if so, like how do you deal with that?
Definitely, but what I've learned is I think it's perhaps a bit of a myth. I think maybe when if you're a really, really large account, knowing the algorithm and sticking to it will probably give you the edge over others. But I've found the biggest growth in my account has been the type of content that I put out. Like I said, in the early days, it was here's a model I painted, no sound, no talking.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into right, I'll put a bit of music on it, and then I'll do an AI voice on it, and you build up the courage, and before you know it, me and the wife who have made Frankie an orc mask. She's getting involved, and I'm spending a week to make a video rather than half an hour. And yeah, we'd gone from getting a couple of thousand views, like over 100,000 on some videos. So I think yeah, and that's like I said, in a gap of not doing anything at all for a month. So I think if you put the right things out there, it just sort of does the work for you, really.
Yeah. That's really
Could be wrong.
good to hear, because you often get kind of fed, you have to do this grind, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. And I think I went on quite a similar journey to you of there was no voice, no face. And then you slowly gain that confidence. And it's nice to hear that it doesn't actually matter from your perspective, because your account has grown quite quickly. So I think that's really, really lovely.
Definitely. But the majority of the growth has happened in the last, like, technical business terms now, in the last quarter, I'd say. Yeah, like Q1 and 2, it was steady but nothing dramatic, and then yeah, these last 3 months, I've gained more than half of all my followers, and in this 33% of the time that I've been doing it, and especially on Instagram, it's unbelievable over there.
Just
Like,
blown.
yeah, well, I'll say I'm planning a giveaway because it ties in with like I'm gonna hit 10,000 soon on TikTok. Well, hopefully soon, and then like I started a YouTube channel that's hit 5,000,
Wow.
and then Instagram was not far off hitting 25,000. But I put a video up last weekend, and I've gone from like 24.2 to just like 25.9 in 5 days or something. So I was going to do a giveaway for that, but I think now I'm going to do one anyway, but it's not going to commemorate any milestone or whatnot.
Do it for free.
That's it. Yeah. Well, there'll be a bit for everyone. And yeah,
Getting the scoop.
it's yeah, but it's so weird, and especially on Instagram, it's as long as I think you're interacting with the people who are taking the time to comment on your post, and you're building up a bit of a community, you're more likely to get given it back. And it's like I have some followers, as I'm sure you do, who everything you post you're getting interacted with, and yeah, and the more you do it, the more of that you get, which pushes it further. So I wouldn't put any pressure on yourself to make sure you don't miss a post, because you just end up doing the same thing every week and you don't feel any good for doing it. So
burns you out, kind of thing. I mean, I'd go as far as to say I've made really good friends in the community on here. Like,
yeah,
it's really, really amazing how it kind of all comes together.
Yeah, same. And it is so nice, but like you said, like the pressure side of it is a big thing. And yeah, I know people on here, and it just crushes them. Like they spend so much time doing stuff and they don't get a lot of views or whatnot, and it just beats them down. So people focus too much on it, and it's hard to see, really. And I was the same at the start. Like, there's been videos I've spent a week on, and they've had 300 views, and you just think, what is the point? I can't.
Yeah, might bother.
Yeah, and you forget all the good. That's the problem.
Yes, yeah. I mean, do you think as well an aspect of parenting and also having that focus makes you have that kind of outlook? Because I kind of relate to that. It will do how it does kind of thing. And on top of that, as a follow-up question, would you say that becoming a parent has changed that approach to your painting and competitions and how you're outlooking all of those things?
On a fundamental level, yes, because I want my kids to go, my daddy's the best painter in the world, and it might not, might not ever get to that level, but it's something to aspire to. And if anything, it gives them something to aspire to. Like, if I can be a role model to them in any way, and whether that's if you work hard on something, you'll hopefully get something out of it, whether you do painting or you studies or anything. Yeah, it's just nice to be looked up to in some sort of way from the ones that you care about the most. So yeah, the kids have definitely helped with it, and Frankie in general. Like, I don't think I'd be doing it half as much if she wasn't involved. Yeah, and everyone loves her, and rightly so. She's funny.
She's everyone's favourite. Sorry, we love you too, but she is everyone's favourite.
I'll bow down to that, but I did make her, so it's
yeah, true. So actually,
yeah, that's it. So it would be if it weren't for me. That's what I'll say.
Would you say it also makes you like use your time when painting more intentionally? So like, do you focus on, okay, this is my game plan because I know I've got 2 hours?
Yeah, I think so. And in a way, it forces you to act that way. Like, I mean, there's times where, say, if it's a rainy weekend and we don't have any plans, then I'll sit down and do some painting, and Frankie and Henry will be doing their own little thing in the like playing with the toys and whatnot. But for the most part, it's equal amount doing it for them and an escape from them in the nicest way. I think everyone needs something to just decompress, and when you're looking at a model with a paintbrush in your hand, you don't think of anything other than what's in front of you. So yeah, it's like being in a shower in a weird way. Like,
I always say I used it as I'm not mum for 5 seconds, I'm something else.
Yeah, that's it. And And yeah, bless Amber. Like we were laughing about it the other day because she couldn't give a shit really about about Warhammer and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, she's still there supporting me and helping me all the bit. So
That's
yeah, bless her. But yeah, it's all her if she's still watching.
Oh, bless her. That is, it sounds like you've got such an amazing support system in My
Oh yeah,
Family. Like, that is really, it's so wholesome to see and just so
no,
beautiful to see.
it's lovely. Yeah, it is. Like I said, I don't want to keep waffling on about it, but I think because she pushes me to do it, I
Mm.
do it, and I wouldn't do it half as much if she wasn't there. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, it's so lovely. I love it. So, what kind of content is it that you enjoy doing the most on your page? Like, if you could only do one thing forever, what would it be?
I think the tutorials.
Yeah.
I try my gimmick. It isn't necessarily Frankie, even though she's the massive star of it. Like she makes the whole thing light-hearted. That's what's so good about her. But my gimmick is I try and show techniques that might put off a lot of people and try and reverse engineer them into an easy way to replicate. Um, Even with things like airbrushes and stuff that are a bit more complex. But yeah, for the most part, I'll try and dumb down things that are perhaps sometimes hidden behind paywalls and Patreon accounts. So yeah, that's what I like doing. Especially when it works as well. It's really nice. Oh, I didn't. You get the best comments ever. Where, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. I'm going to try that now on this, and then 2 weeks later, you're getting pictures sent through of what they've painted, and yeah, it's really nice to see. So
I mean,
yeah,
you are the entire reason my knight has checkers on it right now.
yeah, love it. That's it. But yeah, and then, like we did one or two little comedy skits. I don't, they're not, but you know what I mean. It's not focused on painting, but Warhammer related funny bits, and they're a lot easier to make, like less time consuming. But I think you get a lot of followers and retention and interactions when you just say to someone, "I know how to do this. Here's how you do it," and that's it. There's no obligation, and let's all just have a laugh and paint and see where we all get. So
I
yeah,
really love that you find joy in that as well and like sharing that knowledge because there's a lot of people trying to find that knowledge.
yeah, it is surprising. Yeah, it's like the little video I did the other day when I showed um like the Uhu glue on
Yeah.
the teeth like slime. When I posted a video on how to use Uhu glue, it did okay. But then when you post a video of just showing it, the most comments like, "Whoa, wow, what's that? How did you do that?" And then you tell people, and yeah, it's so nice to just help people out, and you even if you don't know them. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
cool.
So if there was one thing that you could tell like every miniature artist, what would it be?
Remove your mold lines for a start. That does my head in. That's a pet peeve, and then thin your paints more than you think you need to thin them. They should be melted ice cream all the time, and then you can build up layers easily. I know Big Duncan says 2 thin coats, but it's probably more like 6. But then again, that it all goes back to the patience thing. Yeah, work thin and build up because you get control. And again, I'm going off topic, but
That's fine. Go as off topic
yeah,
if you like. It's fine.
I saw a video the other day, and it might have been from your dad actually.
Okay, Dad, shout out.
Yeah, and he was talking about how red behaves,
Yeah.
and he explained it perfectly, and I agree. And that sort of concept you can use with everything. I think a lot of painters will say, right, what is the recipe for doing this, and they need to know exact all the 7 paints that you need to get to that level. And then I'll go, right, if you want to paint like my Chaos Knight, for example, they'll go, how do you do it? And go, just this pot of red, that's it. And you can, it's like going back to understanding how paints behave. You can build up so many levels and versions of the same color to create a different palette and gradient and how it behaves. So yeah, if I could teach anyone anything, it's play with your paints, especially when they're thin. Yeah, I think
I love
I think
that.
that's
Yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of, especially when Games Workshop says, this is ultramarine blue.
yeah,
Like for me, it's blue.
yeah. That,
And you can use whatever blue as long as you use that blue in the correct way.
that's it. And I think there's an argument for it sometimes where a certain shit like we were talking about a non-metallic gold. There's certain yellows that just, and browns that you just got to use really for it to look. But at the same time, if you use a blue that's half a shade lighter than it says on the box, it's not going to make a difference. And it depends how you highlight. Contrast is a massive thing. You look at all the Golden Demon winners, and pretty much every part of the model goes from black to white with a colour in between. And yeah, contrast. That's another thing. Yeah, contrast.
Because yeah, I agree. Actually, almost all the models I've seen, it's got, like you say, that black to white almost, which is, I think, goes against a lot of people's instincts when you're painting, especially if it's a bigger model. I mean, I found it even with the bigger model I'm painting right now. I feel weird about going too dark and too light.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with bigger models, artists have started to use texture to get around that block when it's a bigger space, especially on things like cloth and yeah, there's a lot of stippling and scratching going on at the minute, and it's just anything to take your eye. Every part should sort of like make you go, "Whoa, what's going on?" And sometimes it like you said, it's really difficult to get a high amount of contrast on a large piece without it just looking flat. So you need something to boost it. Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like we're going to have a lot of comments this round. So just before we go into our speed round, do we get any sneak peeks on what the next big thing is after Golden Demon, or are we just Golden Demon focused?
Yeah, I'm Golden Demon focused, but it's definitely the Orc Army.
Nice.
Yeah, we at the minute I've not got a huge amount of them painted. I think there's about 9 models painted from the Orcs.
Wow.
I've got another 80 that I've built and primed. So yeah, they've been really popular on the live stream. So I'm gonna save them for that. But I've got a few other I've got a few other little projects going on as well. With there's like a sponsorship thing with Mini Swap, so that's what the commissar is for. Yeah, and some other little bits here and there, but yeah, the big one's the Orc Army. I'd love an entire army to the standard of that guy. Oh, it's knocking over my Golden Demon stuff. Again, I don't think it'll show it very well on this.
I've seen that one on a video though, and if you haven't seen it, anyone in the comments, go and look at it. Like, it's just phenomenal. It's just amazing.
He is cool. But yeah, that's the plan for the whole army to look like that.
Nice.
And finding a middle ground to doing it in a way that I won't be at retirement age when it's finished, and then passing on what I've learned. So yeah, that's the main goal. But like with all Warhammer collectors, something else will pop up, and I'll be doing another army at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. Of course, it's just going to happen, isn't it?
It.
Thank you so much for answering all those questions. I'm going to do our quick speed round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Favourite crisps?
Monster Munch pickled onion.
Good, bold choice. One meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Japanese pork belly curry.
Oh, nice. Good. Very good choice.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Really quick, yeah. We buy these like curry paste things from Sainsbury's to make like the Japanese curry, and we have a nectar card, and it turned out at the end of the year I think we were third or second place in the entire Northwest for buying those things. So yeah, we like that Japanese food. Quite embarrassing, but yeah, I thought I'd let
Not
you know.
only have I won a Golden Demon, I've bought the most Japanese curry in
Yeah,
the
so
UK.
next year we're going to work on being number one.
I love that so much. That's amazing. Most irrational purchase.
Rational
Irrational.
or irrational? My Audi S3 that I bought years ago, definitely.
Fair enough. One app that you have to delete forever. What one is it?
I don't know. YouTube.
Fair enough. And your final one is proudest dad moment.
Proudest dad moment is when I think she painted her first model, and I thought, "Holy shit, she's really good." Yeah, she like blew me away. I mean, don't get me wrong, the list is endless, isn't it? You know what it's like, but
Yeah, of course.
yeah, from a hobby related thing, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, bless her.
Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Apparently my dad is nodding in agreement. Thank you so much for answering all of those questions. I really, really appreciate it. The comments questions are now open, guys, so please do feel free to ask all of your questions. But yeah, thank you so much. You've given some amazing answers.
Oh, thanks for having me. No, I really appreciate it.
So we already have one. What's one technique you'd encourage anyone to learn to go to the next level with their painting?
Glazing, definitely. It's a tricky one to get right, and it all comes back to how you thin you paint. But yeah, if you can glaze, you're on your way.
I did say save your gifts for the end. Thank you very much. Spudge top.
Sorry.
It's fine, don't worry. Critical asks, will you be doing any girly pop orcs?
Yes, funnily enough. But no, they won't be orcs. It'll be a model of Frankie's choosing. But yeah, we're gonna work on that. And then I said we should do a manly pop one, but that didn't go down very well. So
I like that idea.
yeah, we've got to let you have something, haven't we?
You should do like the same model, girly pop and manly pop.
Yeah, just cover it in nuts and bolts and
yeah, I'd love to do that.
That'd be quite cool, actually. I might have to do it.
Adeptus says, "Wait, you're in the Northwest."
I am.
Ooh.
Preston boy.
I think Adeptus is up. Attilia asks, do you change your approach between short form and long form video content, and if so, how?
I can't really answer that properly because I've not done any long form. So I'm on YouTube, but everything I've put on there is shorts that I've translated over from TikTok. I've done, the only way I can answer it is there's certain videos for shorts that have taken a lot longer to do than I have on others. And you do have to take a different approach. Like I'll sit and plan what I'm going to say, what colours I'm going to use, and then try and build a script of like a voiceover before I even start recording. Whereas other short, like really short videos, I'll just sort of freestyle it and see what fits. But yeah, the longer it is, I think the more you have to take your time to plan it for it to be watchable. I think otherwise it's just a ramble and you can lose people before you get to the good bit.
That makes sense, definitely. Eric asks the most important question here, apparently. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars, without a doubt. My dad is a massive Trekkie, but he does like Star Wars. But yeah, I grew up on Star Wars. It was, yeah, they've murdered it recently, but but yeah, Star Wars. I'm guessing, Eric, you're a Trekkie because no one answers that. No one asks that unless they are.
It's only Trekkies that ask that question. KB Paints says, I'm about to try and enter a Golden Demon next year. What advice would you give me when planning? That's exciting.
Nice. Go overboard. Use AI because you've got that at your disposal now. Run it into whatever AI you got your hands on and ask it to be really critical and compare your idea against current winners and whatnot. Do some digging into the lore on what you're painting, because you've got to convey the right story as well, not just paint something well. But yeah, if you're not anything not sure on, just if you're not following me and send me a message and I'll sort you out.
Really lovely. That's really, really lovely. I love that. That's a really good hack, actually, using the AI. I'd never even thought about that.
Yeah, you can ask it as well to be like hyper critical with you, because it's normally quite nice. I think us humans get a bit upset, but if you ask it to be really critical and just pull no punches, it will. And yeah, you can. I mean, it's not going to paint anything for you, but you can go through all your ideas. You can get it to do deep research on lore and compare your idea with what's going on in the background and whether or not it matches up and suits it. And yeah, it's a good tool, but it's good for everything.
Yeah, I used it to come up with freehand designs all the time.
yeah, that's it. And yeah, no shame in it. I think there was a bit of shame around it. I think from especially from a creative platform, it's always like, you know what I mean? I've seen people, or yourself, like you used AI to make the mini masters thing, and I've used it on like to thank followers.
And I've actually interestingly been criticised for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Just, not very. Yeah, you shut up. It's a poster. I'm not a poster designer, am I?
I don't have thousands of pounds for.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, it's a tool, just like Photoshop is, and like a calculator is. So,
I agree with you.
Why not use it? Yeah,
definitely. Mindful asks, what? Oh no, I lost it. Sorry. Let's go back. Other than Warhammer, what brand would you ever consider starting? War Machine, Bolt Action, etc.
It would have to be Trench Crusade, and I mean this in the nicest way, but it would probably shut George up, who's one of my followers. He loves Trench Crusade, to the point of he's getting me into it just from how much he talks about it. So yeah, that's what I'd jump to first. But if it wasn't for him, it would without doubt be another Games Workshop thing like Age of Sigmar or something like that. I love the plastic. Yeah,
plastic crack.
That's it.
Dexter says that he's a Carlisle boy. Martin says, boo, Star Trek's better. Oh dear. Eric says that he's both, apparently. He swings both ways.
Both ways, yeah. Greedy boy.
Love that. There is a copy and paste script for that brutal AI feedback, apparently, according to Mindful. Or you might be asking, is there a copy and paste script for that brutal AI feedback?
I see what you mean. No. Well, I could give you what I said, but it directly relates to what I was asking it and doing. I think just like I said, just put your idea down in it and ask it to compare it against other things and the lore and see what you get out of it. And
ask it to rip it to shreds, basically.
Yeah. And another thing I've seen people do is, like, not for Warhammer, but they'll get AI to create something and then feed that into another AI thing and say, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? And you bounce off each other and it'll come to some sort of equilibrium in the end. So
I suppose even using that as a tool, though, they're still not going to pick up on stuff that a human eye sees. Like, I bet there's still stuff that's going to be like, the human's going to be like, I don't like that or I do like that.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like I mean, when you're translating it into model painting, like what we're saying, it doesn't matter what AI you use if you can't pick up the and even with AI, like I've sat with it and argued with it on ideas, and it just misses something. Like you said, it's not a human looking at it. Ultimately, it's overly analytical and whatnot. So it's great for certain things. Like it'll tell you if using two models in a duel is a good idea over two different ones for XYZ reasons. But yeah, you've got to have the basics down for painting before you get that far anyway.
Totally. KB Paint says, final question, can Dad Hammer become my dad too so I can get advice like I've got from this live?
Of course.
Thank you, Mindful.
We were saying the other day, like we were on a live, and I'm like, should I call everyone my child? But then it's just so weird. So
Yeah,
we're not doing.
Although I feel like
your face, then you were trying to smile, but inside you were thinking, "What is going on?"
I get how that gets a bit creepy, but also I feel like we've all inherited you as our mini dad.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, but I was in a live the other night, and I was talking to them, like just as a viewer, and he kept saying, "Oh yeah, thanks, Dad." And I'm like,
don't like that. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, we'll stay away from that. But
yeah, that's
you're welcome to join the Discord, and we'll help you that way.
What has been your all-time favorite model to paint? Not the best, but the one you enjoyed the most. I like that question.
Definitely my Chaos Knight, without doubt. It's the first model in the longest time that I've enjoyed painting it from start to finish. I think because I spend so much time painting stuff, I get like a bit of you're just bored in a way. Like you're doing the same thing over and over and over. And yeah, but the Chaos Knight, it was the first model that I really started painting on live streams on TikTok. We were doing all sorts of freehand. I'll bring it in, the big boy.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, we're doing all sorts of freehand and crazy bits on it. But it got to a point where I'm sat painting like a shoulder pad or whatnot, and then we've got people in the comments saying, "Oh, will you do this logo?" And I'm going, "Yeah, we'll stick that on." And so it's littered in little icons from the chats. Yeah, and
that's so cool.
And because we were doing it in that format, it flew by, even though it took probably 6 weeks to paint.
Wow.
It was something I look forward to doing. Like I'd get on live, we'd have our regulars jump in and help me decide, and you get the live feedback as well. Like, "Oh, I don't like that colour that you're doing," and "or maybe you tried doing this." So yeah, and then when it came together, it was one of those moments because I did all of the exoskeleton for it, or the chassis, in one colour, and then all of the parts and the panels were done individually, and then at the end we glued it all together. So it was so it was I've never done it like to that degree before. So yeah, it was really cool to do that.
I love that. Eric asks your favourite paint brand.
Ooh. I'll give you a two-parter on that. I love Vallejo.
Correct answer on this live.
Yeah. They're so smooth. And they smell really good as well through an airbrush. I don't know what it is.
Weirdly.
Like vanilla cake or something. I don't know. They're really, the coverage is ace, the bottles are ace, they're cheap as well, like comparatively. But I also really like Army Painter. Just because they're absolutely incredible in the community.
Yeah.
I've never seen a company support so many small channels as they do. They've helped me out, and there's better paints out there, there's worse paints out there, but there's certain things from their product range that I wouldn't move away from now. Fresh Rust is one of them. It's so good, and again, there's other Rust products on the market, but I have no need to swap, and I don't think I will. But yeah, so Vallejo though, yeah.
Do you agree? I think different paint brands have different specialties, don't they?
Definitely. But yeah, even Mephiston Red, that's I think one of my favourite paints, full stop. And you got to get that in a stupid pot, but yeah, it's good.
Adept asks, what size model would you suggest for someone that's going to enter Golden Demon for the first time?
Oh, that's a good question. Bigger or weirder, the better. You end up spending a bit more time on it, but the single miniature category is saturated with the best painters. They can show off awesome models, and with them not being gigantic, they can do it in a reasonable time frame. So it's definitely the most saturated category. I always myself entered it because you kind of want to go big, or what's the point? But in the end, it was large model that I won it with. Um, Unit I would try to avoid because you at that stage it's effectively a diorama, but you're being outshined by dioramas, and you've got to paint 5 single miniatures to the same standard. So yeah, either vehicle or something obscure like Lord of the Rings or Old World or even Blood Bowls. Just something obscure. If you want to get if you really like want to get one as quick as you can, and it's probably the easiest way to do it. It's not easy.
No one else is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make your own. Make your own look, basically.
Yeah, I like that. I like that approach. Have you tried entering any painting competitions other than Golden Demon? And if so, what ones?
Yeah, well, only one. I went to ChillCon, which was a convention over in Sheffield. That was in March this year, and they have their own painting competition there. It's like a weekend event. So I think it's very similar to the one that you went to recently,
Yes,
but
yeah.
just like one up north. And
Yeah.
yeah, I entered the Orc and the on the Squig, which we showed before, and the Big Knight. And the only thing that was different for that was I didn't paint either of them for competition. It was just
Just entered them.
yeah. I thought I'll just yeah. So I titivated them, should we say, before I went. Added a few bits and cleaned off any dust and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, and they both got finalist pins. So
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
I mean, arguably it's nowhere near the same size, but there was some sneaky Golden Demon entries there, so I was never going to
Ooh.
win. But yeah,
That's dirty.
yeah.
Come on.
I'll do it if I had mine still.
Different. Let us have our competitions.
That's it. Yeah. In fact, I don't think they did win, so maybe they knew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Chaos Knight, how did you avoid getting bored of the trim?
Oh yeah, actually, that is the one thing I probably didn't enjoy, but it's because I picked the worst paint to do it with. It was I'll say this wrong, but I think it's Side Corax Bronze from Citadel,
Yeah.
and the coverage is unbelievably crap. And then so it was. I mean, I wasn't even thinning it that much, and it was 7 or 8 passes to get a consistent coverage. And the trims are massive, some of them.
Yeah.
And then, like an idiot, I decided to shade it. I would use brown ink, and through an airbrush. So controlling that without it splattering everywhere and whatnot was entertaining for people to watch. Let's say, but
That sounds painful.
yeah. But not to dwell on it, the thing that was good about the trim is it was the last step before I started the freehand on all the panels. So in my head, I'm thinking, "Come on, get through this," and I get to the good bit that everyone likes watching as well.
Yeah, I did mine the wrong way around. Completely agree.
But yeah, trim's trim. Can't get around it.
No. Thoughts on Procryl?
I've not used it. It's quite a bit I haven't used. You know what? Right, I can show you. It's really the box of shame. It's one sec. So that little paint box there contains every single paint that I own, every hobby tool.
Wow.
It's tiny, and
You
half
really,
of it's full.
so it's not like you've got a whole room full of stuff or anything.
No, I've probably got. Hang on, second charge. I've probably got about 60 paints in total. Some of them going back to like the 1940s.
Wow, yeah, my dad's got some of them.
Yeah. So there's a lot I want to try, but I think like touching what I said before, I've kind of found what I like and how to use it. And I mean, there's only so many shades of red and so many shades of blue, and then I often mix up my own colours as I'm painting. So yeah, I'm told to try it, and I will when I run out of certain bits. But yeah, until then, it's like AK Paints. Never owned one of those either.
I mean, I very much approve of the limited stuff, to be fair, because you see some people's rooms, they're just decked out, and you think, I can't do that.
I know, and I'm like, I'm gonna spend my money on models, not bloody paints and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, that's been the biggest thing to get around. But yeah, every now and again I'll buy a few bits. But yeah, like I said, the army paints were generous enough to send me a couple of mega sets, so I've got them upstairs that I've not got out yet.
That's really, really
Um,
lovely.
yeah.
Heretic asks if you've got any tips for skin tones.
Yes, always start with a purple or pink and then mix your flesh tone into it. I've seen a lot of people will wash skin afterwards, but when you wash, you completely change the whole tone of the colour. Whereas with starting with a dark or I don't know, let's explain it like a fleshy tone, but mixed in with purples or pinks, it's more natural. Like if you look at someone's eyes and the cheeks and stuff, other than me, like milky white. Yeah, there's way more red and pink and purple to like especially Caucasian skin than it looks like. I was guilty of it for years. I'd always start with a flesh color and then just add white or bone to it essentially until you get up to a really bright white, but they can look a little bit flat. So adding, yeah, starting with a dark pink or purple and then introducing your flesh into that and building it up is quite a good way to bring a bit of life into them.
I love that. That's such a good hack. Adeptus asks, so maybe a big Tyranid model. I'm assuming that's in relation to the Golden Demon entries.
What did he say?
So maybe a big Tyranid model. So he had said about what kind of model to put in.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, definitely. Norn Emissary is an awesome one. And Tyranids in general are very cool because you can do quite a lot of conversions to them without it not feeling right. You know what I mean? With them being so, yeah, and it's the same with Nurgle and anything fleshy. Anything that's organic, you get a lot of freedom to experiment, and it doesn't detract from it in any way. You can. It's like the Beast of Nurgle I did. It's a really white, pallid, horrible, fleshy
gross.
thing. Like, it looks dead.
Yeah,
it's like it's been pulled out of a well or something. It's not good. And that's what I wanted. Like I wanted to avoid the cartoony green and whatnot that it has been for a while. Not that it, you know what I mean. Everyone
do something different.
But, yeah, but you don't have that freedom with models that are in power armor or so Tyranids, Nurgle Demon or any demon is really good because you get freedom to do what you want without it straying too far from it being true to itself. So yeah, it's a good thing to experiment with.
That's really cool. Critical asks, what hobbies do you enjoy outside of Warhammer?
I don't think I've got any, do I?
Excuse me, that's all we do.
Looking to Warhammer, yeah. Kids, yeah, is raising kids a hobby?
I can second that.
Yeah. I used to do. I used to sleep quite well, and yeah, so I miss doing that.
Yeah.
No, Warhammer is my hobby, like we touched on before, because I don't get a massive amount of time. The only other thing I really enjoy doing is cooking. Really
nice.
Yeah, I dabble here and there, but yeah, it's just anything that I'm creating or building in some way, shape, or form just puts my brain at rest, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I was about to ask this question actually. Well done, Critical Hits and Miss. Outside the basics, what's one piece of hobby equipment you couldn't live without?
I think maybe Uhu glue now. I used to stray away from the gimmicky effects, but I think when you do it right and subtly,
I think it's very easy to overdo those.
Yeah, massively. If you get it right, I think it completely changes a model. It just makes it feel real, and it's quite a few. I mean, my airbrush as well. I don't know if that's a cheap answer, but I couldn't imagine not having one.
Oh wow!
And it's not even necessarily to do all the fancy blending and gradients. It's just right. I want all of these models painted green now, and I can do it inside without having to go outside. And you can control it. You can use it to to dry paint, just to blast out of things. So yeah, you can clean dust off models with them. Yeah, I love it.
I love that multi-use tool.
Yeah, that's it.
Tay Andy asks if you've got any tips for rotten flesh.
It's rotten flesh. I've found is very similar to painting faces, but in reverse. So where you would work to extremities, I would go darker, almost like frostbite. I'll see if I can show you on this one. So on his hand, it's gone black towards the end.
Yeah, so you're almost reversing those highlights.
Yeah, and then it's not the best camera, is it, for this? But then in the cracks, it's all very red and fresh. So it's finding that contrast between matte and gloss to represent it oozing and whatnot. But yeah, go dark to the extremities for things that rot, because they never usually get brighter, I don't think, when they decay.
Yeah, no, I think things tend to go dark when they when they're rotting.
That's it.
Oh, I think that's us all caught up on the comments then. But thank you so much. Honestly, some of the information you've given us today has been absolutely invaluable, and it's been such a pleasure having you on today.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. It's been yeah, I love doing anything like this.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and everyone, if I've got any of my followers in, please give Once Upon a Detail a follow. Yeah, it's amazing.
Hey, yes. We got a spuddy dad hammer for the end. But no, it's been absolutely amazing. And yeah, all my followers, I think you already follow Dad Hammer. If you do not, you know you should. So yeah, comments say that it's been amazing as well, and thank you so much. Honestly, it's been absolutely fantastic.
No, it's brilliant. Yeah, thanks very much for having me, and yeah, catch you all soon, guys.
Thank you very much, and thank you for anyone whose gifts that we missed. If you are a miniature artist that is interested in being a guest like Dad Hammer is today, please just hit me up with a DM, and I might be able to give you a clue for who is next week early. So catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye.